Hello, welcome everyone to Tesla Mistakes. And this is the week of 2024, April 29th. And this week, we're going to just like the coming weeks, we're going to debunk 6 Tesla myths or mistakes. And we'll be in 2 episodes. So this is the first one. I have most of my liquid assets invested in Tesla stock. Just disclaimer, and nothing I said here is investment advice, obviously. So without further ado, let's go to the very first Tesla myth mistakes of this week. First of all, as you all know, the first earning call of this year has come out. The report has come out, and it shows that Tesla experienced not only quarter to quarter, but also year to year growth decline. So what the myth is that Tesla growth has finally stalled. It's actually reversing course now, and they will sell fewer and fewer cars going forward. And that's why the stock will go down and the company will soon die. Well, I think that is very, very wrong. Even though the sales number has stalled, first of all, the Q1 has been known to have slower growth or even slower sales in general in the auto industry. So it's not just Tesla, but also GM, Ford, Chrysler, and even BYD and any other automakers in the world actually will have slower growth. So this is very seasonal, and I believe there's nothing to be worried about on this. And second of all, as Elon Musk and the team said in the conference call of the earnings, there's a bunch of cars currently stuck on a ship somewhere. Maybe they have docked, but they weren't able to get them undocked and delivered to the customers. So the number of production is quite a bit higher than delivery. As you have to notice that delivery isn't the same as production. But rest assured, in Q2, they will deliver those cars without having to produce them because they already produced it, right? So the Q2 number will pick those up, and Q2, according to Elon as well, will be significantly better. And so that's first reason why this is not true. The second reason is that it's true that while EVs are taking a break from other USA automakers, because GM, Ford, Chrysler, all those companies try to make EVs, but they are not able to do it successfully. It turns out nobody wants an EV. That's true, except when it's Tesla. People don't want an EV. They want a great car. They want a great vehicle. And the only EV that's great is Tesla. So I can safely say that a lot of people buy a Tesla not because it's an electric vehicle, but because it's a Tesla. Who doesn't want that ecosystem, right? Such a smart device, such a smart computer on wheels. You get updates and upgrades, every week or so, with improved versions of software and even the way the car is being controlled and being driven. So, so the other automakers, even though they cannot make money and they move back to hybrid and gas cars because they cannot afford to keep losing money on their EV arm, they make a lot of new EVs. Or like before, there's like a criticism that says Tesla doesn't have enough models; they can't possibly sell many cars. But look at these other companies, Toyota, GM. They come up with a whole bunch of models. So what? None of those models can sell anything more than a few thousand a year. It's pathetic. Tesla was selling hundreds of thousands of vehicles last year, not last year, last quarter. And these other companies didn't even sell more than a few thousand in a quarter. So forget about it. It's 100 times difference, okay? And so the second reason is that the EVs are taking a setback because the other automakers are scaling back, so they don't do advertising on the EV arm anymore. So a normal customer who don't know anything about EVs, they see fewer ads about EVs, so they don't go look up, should I buy an EV and what kind of EV do I buy? So generally, when they do that kind of look up, it's inevitable they find that Tesla is the best EV on the market, way above the second place. So basically, the other automakers, when they advertise, they're doing it for Tesla. And since they kind of slow down on that direction, that's why you're experiencing this thing where there are fewer Tesla buyers because the other companies has stopped that direction. And a lot of people follow those big names. So when the big names have stopped going to EV, fewer people go to EV, and therefore fewer people go to Tesla. So this is sure it's a setback, but it is temporary, and it's also combined with a seasonal reason as well. So this is not anything to be really concerned about, because of the third reason is that once people fully realize that a car can drive itself anywhere, not just on highway, a Tesla can drive itself anywhere now with latest full self-driving version 12.3 plus. Nobody wants to buy a normal car. Like if you will have 50,000 or 30,000 right now to buy a car, would you buy a car that has the potential, not just potential, but the real possibility of driving yourself anywhere? Or would you buy the same car with the same spec, basically, or most of the time worse specs, right? Worse acceleration, worse software upgrades and all that, and safety, right? Ratings. Would you pay the same amount of money for a car that doesn't do self-driving and has worse specs than if you were to buy a Tesla? So once people really realize the power of full self-driving, there's no way they're gonna go back and buy a normal gasoline car or any other EV. Just like about 130 years ago, when a new car was made, automobile was made, all the horses stopped being sold very profitably. Nobody wants a horse, that needs to eat, that needs to go to the bathroom and all that stuff. You have to maintain it, and it's not as fast as a car. People stop buying cars, they don't buy horses anymore. So the metaphor is that now that you have cars that drive itself, nobody wants to buy a car that doesn't do that anymore, right? So once people realize the power of full self-driving, which surprisingly a lot of people still don't, nobody want to buy other cars. So the sales will pick itself up really, really quickly, because this next quarter, Tesla is doing a lot of PR and events to, and even roll out to many, many countries, Germany, Europe, China, and USA, to everywhere, for the full self-driving for anybody to experience for free for a month, and maybe $99 for a month. So that's why the Tesla growth has stalled is a myth. It's very temporary, and it's only going to be much stronger very soon. And that is the first myth I want to debunk. The second myth is that they say FSD is a gimmick, right? It doesn't even work most of the time, and it kills people much more than it saves people. So that's one of the ongoing, very popular myth that I want to debunk. First of all, I want to say that most people who say this sort of thing are those who actually has not tried full self-driving, much less the latest version, 12.3, which is the one that has the breakthrough. Like last month, 12.3 or 2 months ago, 12.3 came out a couple of months ago, and it shook the entire Tesla community because it finally achieved the breakthrough of full self-driving, where like almost 95% of the drives that we experience don't require any hands on the wheel at all. The other 5%, yes, those are still the corner or edge cases that Tesla still need to work on. But that was the breakthrough that we were all waiting on for years. As you all know, Elon has a very aggressive timeline. He promises FSD like back in 2019, saying from East Coast to West Coast with no hands. Yeah, maybe that was possible already on the highway, but once on the local, it couldn't do anything. But right now, that is actually a reality. You can definitely drive from East Coast to West Coast without any intervention at all, right? On most roads, right? There's still imperfections, but it's gotten there, and it's no longer a gimmick. Just by the number of stats on the highway miles, right? They call it the autopilot on highway, not the full self-driving, right? Just looking at the autopilot statistics numbers, we know that it's already safer than humans. Humans, they drink and drive, they look at the text, they fall asleep, or they make careless mistakes, right? The Tesla autopilot software doesn't do any of that, right? It could make wrong decisions still, but overall, it's just so much safer than human already. You can find those numbers on Tesla website or online. I think it's already 3 to 5x safer than human on highway. And on local, it's only going to get safer and safer. At this moment, I believe that full self-driving on local roads is not as safe as a human, true, but it's getting very close. If you try the latest version, 12.3.6, which is the latest any non-internal Tesla employee can get, which is what I have personally experienced since yesterday, the download. See, that's what Tesla does. It gives you an upgrade over the air. No other company can really do that. And I got the latest version. It's so amazing. It fixed the little issues where it got too close to the curb before, and it fixed the issue of like sudden stops when it sees a yellow light instead of just going through smoothly. So FSD is just gonna save so many lives, even on local roads. It's definitely not a gimmick. The ones who say it haven't tried it. Okay. And finally, I just want to say that there's no human or technology that's gonna be perfect. Humans have continued to murder more than 1 million people per year, according to WHO research. And the FSD, when it's finally considered successful, that is no longer a beta software. That means a trial software. It will still kill people as well, but it will just kill a lot fewer people. Right now, humans combined together per year kill more than 1 million other people. That's crazy. Or they kill themselves. But with FSD, when it's successful, right? The goal is to be 10 times safer than human. By then, so it will kill more than 100,000 people a year, which is still a lot of people. But come on, think about the 900,000 people that don't have to die because of silly human mistakes. Think about that. So would you want to say FSD kills 100,000 people per year, or would you want to say FSD saves 900,000 lives per year? Which one makes more sense to you? Do you think you should roll out FSD then to save the 900,000 people, or would you rather you continue to let human have all the control in the world and kill 900,000 people more per year? That sounds like an easy argument to me, if you ask me. So finally, the third myth that we're going to debunk this week in this episode is that, is Tesla just a car company? Come on, right? Look at the earnings report. Most of its revenue, 90% plus, and its profits are coming from selling cars and maybe car-related stuff. So why isn't it just a car company? So this is a very easy one to debunk. If you open the Tesla Q1's earnings call presentation, there's a slide that shows all the business around the car and also quite disjoint away from the car. There's so many things, such as solar panels, such as energy storage for business, which is the Megapack, and for residential, which is the Powerwall. And you got the auto bidder, so it knows when to use energy from the grid, when to use energy from your storage, whichever is cheaper. And then you got things like the autonomous robot, which is still under very heavy development, sure. But when it actually succeeds, which it will, right now I know for sure now, we can go into this in a later episode later on, we'll basically create 10 to 20 times current Tesla's value. It's crazy. So you got the robot, and then you got the service of the car itself. Sure, so that's related to the car. And you got the insurance business arm, right? Right now, more and more states in the United States get the insurance from Tesla, which is a lot cheaper than the other insurance company out there, because Tesla has all this real-time good data about the driver, so they can give you a lot more accurate quotes rather than being conservative and charge you more just in case you're a worse driver than they know. Tesla knows you very well. It collects all your statistics, right, about your driving. So you can see Tesla has a lot of other business areas. I haven't even covered all of it. You can go take a look at that slide. And sure, right now, yes, the car business arm has taken off to capture more than 90% of the revenue and profit. But that's only for now. That's the first step, right? Every company needs a first step to get into a bigger pie. Like for Amazon, it was books. Now Amazon sells almost everything, and books is only like, I don't know, 10-20% maybe of its overall sales, maybe less, who knows, right? You know, Amazon now is making most of its money from the actually Amazon Web Services arm. So Tesla is the same, right? They may start with cars, but you know what is the company's mission statement? Is to transition the world to a sustainable energy production and consumption. It's about energy. It's not really about cars. It's not even about technology. Sure, they're doing it via technology to get there, but the ultimate goal is energy. They're going after basically the most fundamental thing in the universe, energy, which is crazy. So if you understand that, you understand car is just the means to an end, and it's a small means at that, because if you look at the earnings report, you can see that other business arms are taking off as well. Look at the energy storage. It has achieved record sales this quarter and is only going up. According to Elon Musk himself, who's never lied in my point of view, maybe he has aggressive timelines or optimistic ones, but he has never lied straight to anybody. The energy business will be more than the current auto business. Okay, so energy is picking up, and the FSD revenue is gonna pick up this quarter. Just wait for it. This Q2. A lot of people will have subscribed to FSD for $99 a month, and some people will pay it right out. You can see the revenue recognition on the balance sheet then. Other than energy and FSD, there's many more in the future about HVAC systems or semi truck production and the cyber truck, right? They're starting to sell cyber trucks. So there's many business arms. It's not just cost related things. It says so on the mission statement. So there you have it. These are the 3 myths that I want to debunk this week. I hope you like this video. Please help me by liking this video and subscribing, and leave me a comment and let me know how I can improve this channel to serve you better. And thank you very much. Have a nice day.